You're now listening to the 11:30 podcast. Enjoy the show.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 11:30 podcast, Dre and Willsy is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 11:30 podcast, Dre.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the 11:30 podcast. What's good, everybody doing out there, man? Back at it. You know what time it is, man. It's Wednesday. It's not 7:30. It's 11:30, man. Time for the podcast show. I'm always excited. It's December. The holidays, is upon us, man. So happy holidays to everyone. Got a great show. Great show. Great guest that's going to be joining me on this week's episode of the 11:30 podcast show. You guys, Karaleigh. Yes, Karaleigh Garrison. She's a singer-songwriter and a motivational speaker. She's a special needs mom. She's a mom, who have kids with disabilities, and we're gonna be chatting with her and everything, man. I'm always excited, a little tongue-tied before the show, you guys. But if you're new to the podcast and if you haven't done so already, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. Like it, leave a comment, share it, and don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, awesome guest Karaleigh Garrison is joining me here on this week's episode. We are about to hop in it, you guys. But before we do, sit tight, and stick tight. Right after the interview, I'm gonna dive into the WTF moment and more, you guys, before I wrap up the show. But we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's get into the show to my awesome guest, Karaleigh. Karaleigh, how's it going?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How's everything?
Good. We got a rainy day outside today.
Okay, where you from?
I'm in Utah today. Yeah, we got snow in the mountains for the first time this year.
Oh, okay. Snow is snowing in Utah. It's sunny here in DC though, but it's a little chilly. It's getting about that time of the year though. But I like treating you though. How's it like treating?
It's good. It's crazy as usual, but it's good.
Okay. Well, cool. Once again, I appreciate you, Karaleigh, for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. Well, for my listeners and viewers, I'd like to allow my guests to tell everyone, about yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here. I'm Karaleigh. My life is crazy. I'm a singer-songwriter. I have 3 kids with special needs, and my husband has been disabled for a decade. So figuring out how to do the things that I love while also caring for my family has been a difficult challenge, but I'm up for it, and I love teaching others how to do the same.
Okay, wow, that's an awesome story, to say the least. Though, you mind sharing some of that story with my listeners and viewers? You're trying to figure out how to balance everything. You said you have 3 special needs children. I mean, you're also a singer, a songwriter too. So, how are you balancing all of that?
Well, I get a lot done while they're at school, and then when they're not at school, it's a lot easier to if I can fill my cup and do the stuff I love while they're at school, then I can focus on them while they're home. And then over the summer, I try to divide my time out where it's like, this is mom's time and this is your time, and then I can be a better mom, right? When I'm making sure that I do the stuff that I love as well as doing the mom stuff, as when I'm not pouring everything into them and I'm also giving some time to me.
Can you speak out how important it is for a mom to actually still do her thing? All of those,
Oh yeah,
and you got everything in the world. Though I know being a mom is your number one priority, and I try to tell that to my fiance too. I asked her last night actually. So what do you want to do this month? What do you want? And she was like, well, I don't want nothing, but the baby need this or da. But I know what the baby need. I know what do you want? Time for yourself. But yeah, how important is
I'm so passionate about that because we tend to lose ourselves in motherhood.
Yeah.
And it's really easy at first especially when you just have one new baby and it's like, oh, I just, you love your kids so much and you want to pour everything in there. But as time goes on, it starts to really you start to forget who you were before you had kids. And you're like, wait a minute, I had like hobbies before I had kids. I had passions. I had things I loved to do. Like I went to college and I pursued things in college, like I did things. What happened? Who am I
Yeah.
now? Where did I go? And some point along the way, we're like, okay, well, at some point, my kids are going to grow up and they're going to move out of the house and then I can be me again. Right. And a lot of moms hit that point and then their kids don't need them anymore. And they're like, who am I now? Now I have to rediscover who I am, and they really struggle with that empty nester part. But for me, my kids aren't that old yet. My kids are 13, 12, and 9. But I hit this point where I was like, wait a minute, my kids are never going to leave the house. I have a severely autistic 12-year-old who's also type 1 diabetic. And I was like, he's never going to leave the house. I'm going to be caring for him as long as he's alive, as long as I'm alive. Like I can't die. That's just out of the question. Never gonna happen. I'm gonna live forever. Decided on that one. Can't even think about it. But if I ever want to do the things that I'm passionate about, I've got to figure out how to do them now. There's no magical day when I'm gonna be an empty nester. I have to figure out how to live my life now. And I've always wanted to be a singer since I was really little. I think I had my first solo when I was 8 years old. I've been writing songs since I was in middle school. That's something I've always wanted to pursue. And when I was a young mom, it was killing me. Like it was this burning flame inside of me that wanted to get out. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. I was like, I had this dream, it's what do singers do? They tour. They go on tour. I wanted to be a famous singer. I wanted to make a living singing and using my voice. And it was like, okay, well, what does that look like? What has that been modeled as? That's been modeled as you go on tour. I can't do that. That's not realistic for me. That's not something I can do. And so for a really long time, I tried to squash that dream. I was like, that's impossible. I can't do it. And so I would sing in church twice a year for Christmas and Easter. And that was it. And it like physically hurt to not use my voice. Like it physically hurt. And eventually when I realized like I can't not sing. I can't not sing. And my kids were like, stop singing, Mom. Like, I don't want to. My kids didn't want to sing with me. My kids didn't want to learn how to sing. They didn't want to do it with me. I tried to get them to, and they weren't interested in it. They have their own, unique personalities and their own interests, and they're not the same as mine. And some people are lucky enough that their kids have the same interests as they do. My kids don't. My husband and I are both singers, and so that's been great. And we sing together, and that's a lot of fun. But my kids are not interested in that. And so I eventually realized that if I wanted to do this, and I couldn't not want it, I tried really hard to not want it, and I couldn't not want it anymore. I had to figure out a way to do it as a mom. Because I wasn't going to, I can't give up my kids. My kids are everything, right? I couldn't be mom. But I had to figure out a way to integrate it into my current life. And so now I learned how to produce my own songs. I've always been a singer-songwriter, but I don't really play any instruments. So I learned how to write music digitally. And I learned how to produce my own songs. And I wrote and produced my own album. And now I actually write custom songs for people from home while my kids are at school. Over the summer, I was able to do it a little bit, even, just in between activities. And it wasn't easy, but I was still able to do it. And so finding ways to do what you love in between, the parts of your life, because if you can do what lights you up, it gives you the energy to do the things in life that don't light you up, like doing the dishes and vacuuming up the floor for the 1,000th time, right? Walls and doing all the things that are part of being a parent that are not fun, but are just part of the day grind. if you can
Mm.
also add in and balance it out with things that really bring you energy and light you up, it helps you to have the energy to do the stuff you don't love to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and I love your spirit though. Well, and you talk about being a singer and a songwriter, and you've been doing this for about 20 years or so. What really started it? What really started it all? That because I think being a singer, you got to be really good, and you got to use your voice, and also being a songwriter. What was your inspiration behind that?
Well, my family's always been singing. My dad's a singer. We always sang in the choir at church. My mom sings alto. My dad sings tenor. Like we always sang in church choir. So music was always part of my family growing up. We always sang. Even my brother and sister sang with us, and they don't want to pursue that for their life dream, but like they all sing. We all sing. the whole the whole bunch of us. So it was always something I was around, but for me, it was just part of my soul. It was just part of who I was, and it was part of how I expressed myself when I was in middle school and I had crushes on boys. How I expressed that was writing songs about my crushes on those boys. And even as I was writing my album, my songs were about my kids and about the hard time I was having. I wrote a love song to Apathy when my kids were breaking my stuff, and I felt like I wasn't allowed to get upset when my severely autistic son was breaking my things. And I was sitting there going, I'm the mom here. I'm not allowed to throw a fit when my son breaks something that I bought for me, and I feel so upset. I'm just supposed to shove it all down and not get upset because he doesn't understand that he broke something that's important to me. And so I wrote a love song to Apathy, and it's just been this way of processing my emotions no matter what age and what stage of life I was in. Like that's how I process things, as I write them into songs.
That's awesome. I think that is really awesome, and it's a great way to write down, what you're going through and stuff like that. So I think it's amazing. You said you also wrote your debut album that's also coming out, right?
It came out in May.
Yes, May. Yes, yes,
Yep,
came
so
out
it's
in
out.
May.
Everyone, you can go listen to it now.
Yes, the links will be down below for everyone to definitely go listen to it. I think that's amazing, though. You also talk about how you have 3 kids that have special needs, and how do you handle that on a daily basis? Because I'm a guy who have special needs too, and have a disability that's in a wheelchair. So, but I don't have 3 kids that's have special needs. So how do you handle that and try to stay you know positive?
Stay positive. Well, my album and my podcast actually are both called Seeking Sunshine. And so
Okay.
it's all about like finding the positive in the trials of life. It's about changing your mindset and shifting the way that you look at things. And so when things are really overwhelming, you've got to take a step back. You've got to take a deep breath. If you don't really put yourself first, and like we really talk a lot about selfishness as being this really terrible thing, but it's actually the most beautiful gift that you can give the world when you are feeling overwhelmed by everything that's happening around you. And for me, that is usually my kids fighting and screaming, and I get really overwhelmed. And the best thing that I can do in that situation is to focus on myself and get myself regulated first. Is to be like, okay, what am I doing to take care of my own emotional status first? How do I make sure I'm calm before I react to their uncalmness? What am I missing? Have I gone to the bathroom in the last few hours? Because as a mom, I tend to just skip my own needs and go right to them. Have I eaten in a while? Do I need to eat? Do I need to pee? Do I need to sit down and take a break? Do I need to just step back and have some silence for like 30 seconds? Do I need to go lock myself in a room and plug my ears for a few minutes? Like, do I just need a break for a whole second to just regulate my own emotional status? Because if I don't first take care of my own emotional well-being, I can't be the best mom that I can be to help them regulate their emotional status. Because if I'm coming at them from a place of complete dysregulation, it's not helping them. It's only making things worse. And it's coming from a place of yelling and screaming and out of controlness. And that just leads to worse. And I've done it a lot of times. It's taken me a long time to learn that, wait a minute, I have to be at a good place before I can help them be at a good place. Right?
Yeah. Well, one of my questions was is anyone there sort of for you when you just want to take a break, knowing that you have to obviously be the mom and be super mom for your three kids and also be there for your husband. At times I know, do you look back at who's there for me?
Thankfully, my husband is amazing, and we kind of trade off.
Okay.
We go back and forth, and I call him in, and I'm like, well, nah, no, come trade off for me, and we'll trade places frequently where it's like, nope, step in. And there's always times like he was disabled for about a decade where he was not able to work, and he was walking on a cane and he would collapse all the time, and it was a really difficult time period. And for that amount of time, it was a really hard time. But as I look back, I try really hard to look at the sunshine that was in it, where we were both tag teaming it as parents. And he was there with me, helping me with the kids the entire time. So we were able to go back and forth. And now he's actually had a job for about a year, and he's physically capable of working. He doesn't have to walk with a cane anymore. He's had kind of a really amazing transformation recovery of sorts. It's been really amazing. And I can see, I still am able to call him and be like, all right, talk me down. Talk me down. I'm ready to explode on everybody. But he's not always as physically present as he used to be now that he's working a lot. And I'm so grateful actually for, that decade where he was right next to me the whole time, even though he was not at his best because he was in so much pain. It's amazing to be able to purposefully look back on some of the hardest times of my life with rose-colored glasses and see the beauty on purpose, and purposefully focus on the beautiful parts of it instead of the traumatic parts of it.
hmm I got you. I got you. You've been overcoming a lot of obstacles in life and thriving, through chaos. How do you keep the smile on your face? How do you keep going with it and with the positive, attitude?
It's a lot more fun to have a smile on your face. I find that talking about the hard times is really heavy, and I don't love it. I don't love talking about the heavy times. It makes me sad, and it makes me remember how hard it was. And I so much prefer to just talk about the sunshine and talk about the beauty. And, we actually have a choice, and we don't really think we do until we get taught that we have a choice. But we have a choice on what we think about. We can think about, we can choose a better feeling thought. We can choose to focus on the good, or we can choose to focus on the bad. And so, which one makes you happier? Which one makes you feel better? Do you want to focus on the things that feel great and feel happy, or do you want to focus on the stuff that sucks and the stuff that hurt? And I want to focus
Mhm.
on the stuff that makes me feel happy. I want to focus on the sunshine. And so the more that you retrain your brain to find the sunshine and to find the beauty in everything, the easier it is to come back to that, and the easier it is to feel happier and happier and happier throughout your day.
Mm. I like that. Definitely like it. Looking at it, from a positive standpoint, the sunshine. I like it. I definitely like it. At what point did you, wanted to become a motivational speaker?
Oh, honestly, I think I've wanted to do that my whole life. I think that I've always just wanted people to listen to me. I'm a talker. I kind of never shut up. I am a chatterbox. Yeah, yeah. I really love to talk.
No.
So I
Okay.
started my sorry, say it again.
Go ahead. No. I
Yeah.
was just saying. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love to talk. It was just trying to get people to listen to me. I started my podcast Seeking Sunshine in 2021, and it's just been from there. Honing in on my message of finding the positivity and really what lights you up and what's your passion, and like, let's go. I love talking about what lights you up and how we can pursue it and how we can find more joy in life, because it just makes us all so much happier to talk about that. Like, that's what life's about. Life's about finding happiness and joy, and there's so much heaviness and so much sadness all around us, and it's really easy to focus on that because that's what our brains were built for. It's the survival mechanism. That's how humans were created, so that we could not die, except for that our brains have been tricked into thinking that every little thing is going to kill us, right? Somebody disliked our social media post and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Somebody called me fat and now I'm going to die. Somebody told me I look ugly and now it's going to kill me. And it's like, actually, none of those things are actually life and death situations. They're really not. We have all this anxiety. We have all this, existential dread. And it's like, we can change the way that we think. We can look for beauty all the time. We can find the sunshine. And so that's my goal, is to help people be happier, to find the beauty and find the sunshine. And it's not without, looking at the trauma and the hard things in life. Trust me, I know that it exists and I know that it's really there. I've lived it a lot. And yet it's so important to use the hard times and transform them into beauty.
Yeah. You're right. You're so right. You spoke about what lighting, having stuff that lights you up, and what lights you up. What definitely is it for you that has Karaleigh going in a good direction.
Yeah. So what lights me up the most is talking about what lights you up. That's what I've really discovered, is talking about passion and beauty and joy and what lights you up. That makes you can see it in my face. That's what lights me up the most. And so my goal is to help other people find what lights you up, and you can tell by the way that you talk about it. When you're talking to another person about the thing that you want to pursue with your life, how do you talk about it? How does it come across in your face? Because you can tell by the way that it feels in your body, and the other person you're talking to can tell as well, because it changes your entire demeanor when you're just so excited about it. And when I talk about doing the things that light you up, pursuing your passions, that's what got me through the hardest times in my life, was doing the things that light me up, even when they seemed crazy, even when they seemed like they were a waste of my time. And I'm talking about, like, when my kids were younger and my husband was really at his worst. I'm a maker. I studied sewing and costume design in college. It took me about 12 years to get through college, and I did it with my kids for the vast majority of it. Just graduated college about 2 years ago. So I think my oldest was like 11 at that time. So the majority of my college career was with 3 special needs kids. And I was making stuff the whole way, and not just music, but I was making, I made tote bags, I made weighted blankets. I had a whole business making button jewelry. I made Halloween costumes. Every year we had matching family Halloween costumes. And I made Jolly Rancher roses. I made crayons in the shape of puzzle pieces. I made so many things. And in the making of those, it was like, you don't need to, but I wanted to have gifts for people when we couldn't really afford to just buy amazing gifts. I wanted to make something that would show people how much that I cared. And so I would do something that lit me up. I would find this problem to solve. How do I make something out of nothing and make something beautiful to give away? And in the solving of that problem, in the doing something I didn't think I could do, I found power in my life when I felt powerless. And doing that thing that lit me up, it changed my life. It got me through the hardest times. And like, I can't underestimate the power of like doing something you love. It'll get you through everything.
Mm-hmm. You're so right about that. So right about that. I think a lot of people is not doing too much of what they love. You know, they just basically doing it also for the money. You know, and that only can last but so long. You know, but when you're doing something, go ahead.
Life's not about money.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
not about money, and your value is not in the money that you can. It's not in what you can produce. Your value is not in how much money you can make. Your value is just inherent. You just are valuable. You just are. Your value has nothing to do with how much you can do or how much you can create or how much you can produce for somebody else. You just are inherently valuable just exactly as you are. And that doesn't mean that you don't need to grow and improve, but you just have so much worth and so much value exactly as you are.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think people understand how much value they self really are, and just pay attention to certain things, and just stop worrying about the negative. And I love how you go about life. Is really really inspiring for real. Speaking of inspiring, what inspires you?
Ooh, what inspires me? There's a lot of things that inspire me. Podcasting inspires me for one. I love talking to people like you. It's so much fun. I love looking around and finding beauty. I love colors. I'm looking at my husband's painting right across from me in this room, and it's so many colors. I love colors. Colors inspire me. The colors of this incredible world that we live in and the nature that's all around us is so inspiring. Like, there's so much inspiration to be had all around us. Just go on a walk in nature and see the gorgeous sky. And I don't care if it's raining, because rain is inspirational too. But like the birds and the trees and the leaves, like there's just so much beauty that is around us.
Mhm. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. I like to ask that. What inspires you? Because there's always something. There's always some crazy stuff that's going on in the world, and you gotta be uplifting and go about it. So I dig that. I definitely dig it. Okay, you guys. We're gonna move on here on the 11:30 podcast. You guys, it's time for the 11:30 podcast. Hot seat. All right, Carly. It's time for the hot seat. I got 5 questions for you, and we're gonna roll with it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. If you have a conversation with someone, you have a conversation with anyone right now, living or that's no longer here, who would it be?
Who would it be? I'm gonna go with Adele. I want to talk to Adele.
Okay. Why Adele?
Because I think Adele's amazing. I love. She's one of my favorite musicians. She just really inspires me. I want to talk to her. I want to sing with her. I want to jam with her. I think she's just a super cool person to know.
Okay. I dig it. Definitely like her music though. Definitely. Okay. Pizza night or Taco Tuesday?
We do a lot of both. We have Pizza Friday every single Friday. And we have Taco Tuesday like the other three nights of the week, and then we have pasta like the other 3 nights of the week. So we do a lot of both. Okay. Probably Pizza Friday because I don't have to cook it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. What do you see yourself at in a year from now?
Ooh, I see myself on massive stages traveling the world. Definitely just exploding everywhere.
Okay, cool. I like that. Do you have any regrets?
Do I have any regrets? I a little bit don't believe in regrets. Like, and some people, like my husband was like, come on, you don't believe in regrets. And I was like, it's all learning opportunities, isn't it? They're all growth and learning opportunities, and everything that I might regret, I've grown so much from. And so I don't really think I have any regrets.
Okay, I like that. I like your attitude. Your attitude is real positive, and how you keep the smile on your face throughout a lot, throughout life. You know, you just gotta roll with the punches, and they say smiling is healthy. So I definitely dig it. I definitely dig it. Okay, if you could tell your younger self something that you didn't know today, what would it be?
It would be you can do it, and it's gonna be so much more amazing than you think.
Okay. All right. Look at Carly. I appreciate you coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. It's really awesome having you on. All the links will be down below, you guys, so you can listen to Carly's new album, latest album, and you can definitely check out her awesome podcast. But before you go, you have any questions, any shout outs, anything you like to say?
I just keep seeking sunshine. Just keep seeking sunshine. Do it all the time. My single goes, "I'm seeking sunshine. I'm seeking sunshine," and it goes on and on and on and on and on. Just just keep seeking sunshine over and over and over again. Keep it in your head. It's an anthem. Just keep seeking sunshine. Look for it everywhere you go, because it's there. There is sunshine everywhere that you look.
All right, all right. Keep seeking sunshine, everyone. I definitely like the positive quote and the inspiration behind it. Once again, Carly, I appreciate you coming through here on the 11:30 podcast. Really awesome time having you on. Can't wait to have you on again. We're really, really, really fun. Like I said, everyone, all the links will be down below. Keep seeking sunshine. Carly, once again, thank you for coming through here on the show. We're going to take a quick break. We got the WTF moment and more. We're going to wrap up the show. You're listening and you're watching to the 11:30 podcast. That's right, new merch. Yes, new merch is available now. Head over to bonfire.com/the 11:30 podcast to place your order. I have t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, hats, you name it. Everything you want from the 11:30 podcast is right here in one place. So head over to bonfire.com/the 11:30 podcast to pick you up some monumental gear ahead of the new season of the 11:30 podcast. Go get you some now.
TV is more than cable for less than cable. More unexpected plot twists. Ooh. Less unexpected fees. More committing to new shows. Ooh. Less committing to an annual contract. More being held in suspense. Less being held on hold. More modern, more simple, more than cable for less than cable. Try YouTube TV for free.
WTW Wrestle Talk Wednesdays.
That's right. Get with me, Brian B., as well as buzzing with Marlowe's very own Warren Marlowe, the American prodigy. And you see him, your man from the 11:30 podcast, Dre on Wheels. That's right, we the commission talking that Wrestle Talk Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. live. Yeah, be there, subscribe, follow, like, share, get at us. Commission, baby. What's good? What's happening? What's going on? Yo, it's me, Brian B. That's right, and I'm telling you guys to head on over to YouTube today and make sure you subscribe to the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Check us out. We all over the place.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, aka Coffee Weaston.
It's your boy DOE Good Brother Bowl.
And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man, you tuning in to 11:30 podcast. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, we back here on the 11:30 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the short break. Man, great show. Really, really great show. Thank you to my awesome guest, Karaleigh Garrison, for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. All the links are down below. Before I move forward, I just want to thank Karaleigh for sharing her amazing story of being a mom of special needs of children. And I had a guest on a couple of weeks ago who was sharing her amazing story and her challenges and had to overcome just being mom, and having that mom guilt, and just a bunch of stuff. But Carolee Garrison, once again, thank you for coming through here on the podcast. The links are down below, so you can definitely check her out. She has her debut album is out right now, you guys. Seeking Sunshine. So definitely check that out. Tap in with her and tell her, man. Dre from the 11:30 podcast sent you over there. But yes, great show. Great vibes. Like I said earlier in the show, man, it's December. It's holidays. The holidays are here. Just celebrated Thanksgiving a couple of weeks ago. My birthday was last Thursday. And I want to apologize for everyone, man. Apologize everyone. No Talk Pro Wrestling came out last week. No Talk Pro Wrestling came out last week. I was supposed to put out a post. But the day after my birthday, man, I had some Patron, man, and I haven't drunk like liquor like that. I might have a beer or two, here, but I haven't had no like straight liquor like that in a long time, and I was just stuck at the end of the night. For real, I was just stuck, man, and I was just like, wow, man. But man, just happy, grateful, thankful to see another year, man. 33 is going up, man, for real. But yeah, my birthday was last week. Had a great time, awesome time with that. Family came over, chilled with me, babe, and little man, and did our thing. But yeah, Christmas coming up. I know some people may not celebrate Christmas, with the old Christmas tree and buying people gifts. But if you do or you don't, man, and happy holidays, enjoy it. Just give back to someone who doesn't have it, or if times could just be rough for some individuals out there, and I think being grateful and having that gratitude, man, can definitely take you a long way. I know in the holiday times, it could be a very sad and depressing time for some individuals because they don't have their family members, man. So just if you do, your mom out there and your family, your dad, or whoever it is, man, just reach out to them. Happy holidays, man. Tell them you love them, and you know hey, man. But you guys, man, we're going to moving on here on the 11:30 podcast. Before the break, man, I told you guys, man, if I didn't, man, you know what time it is. It's time for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, yes, yes. WTF moment of the week, man. Man. Yo, I got like two WTF moments, man. I had one, but I was just like, I scratched that one off. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to add it on and just do my thing, man. All right. First WTF moment is a little bit crazy, though, but I want to get you guys' opinion. I want to hear you guys' opinion. Leave a comment, man, and tell me about it, man, for real. All right. It was this video, man. Let me go to it for real. Let me go to it. But it was this video, you guys, of this man and a woman. You know, they've been dating for a couple of days, only a couple of days, man. And they went on a couple of dates. They went on a couple of dates, and they are at Walmart. They're at Walmart, and they rack up some stuff that comes seems to come up about $400 or whatnot. And the woman gets mad at the guy for not wanting to pay for her groceries that she spent and some of the child's clothing or meals or whatnot. Though I want you guys to check out this video though, but before I do, man, what's the limit? When kids are involved, this brings back memories to that video that came out about what, 2 years ago or something like that. It was the video with the mom chatting with the baby daddy, and the baby daddy bought some McDonald's only for his son and not for the rest of the kids and the siblings like that. But he was just doing what he's supposed to do as a dad, looking out for his kids or whatever. So how do you guys feel about this, man? If you've been dating a shorty for 2 or 3 days, should you be paying $400, worth of their groceries or stuff? Now, if you telling me, you know what, your son ain't ate, you
That's
know,
how these
and
guys do, baby.
or
They take you out on
if
dates
I
and
was in that
because
position,
he know I got a 1 year old
wh-
baby.
what the kid need? Let's think
Buy
about
my
him
baby
first. What
clothes.
he need? Do he have anything that he,
That's
need
how
or
guys
whatever
do
like
now,
that? Let's
baby.
try to
They
get
just
that.
take you.
But you up here racking up a big ass cart, $400, $500 worth of
$472. Okay, are
shit,
you gonna be
and you
paying
think
today?
I'm supposed to pay for it
How
after
are
we
you
just
paying?
been what,
Yeah, yeah, this how it is. Guys be
just
wearing the
talking
hottest
for
shoes.
2 or 3 days? Now I'm not. I'm now look at like if we ain't smash, like within them 2 3 days though, I don't think you got the right to be asking me on like, can you buy me this? Like, oh no, I'm gonna run far away for real. Now if I smash and I'm seeing what type of vibe you on and seeing type of what shit you on, maybe, but I think you might be doing a little bit too much with all these. And then the women really have these expectations, man. Like, if you gotta be blunt, you gotta be transparent up front, man. Like, you got grown. We grown. Like, if you get into a situation with a woman, man, let her know what it is. Like, yeah, look here, try to make you my woman, or look here, I ain't looking for that. I'm just trying to do this, and that, and that's just that, But and soon as you start talking good, because some dudes out there, they got that good conversation to have a shorty panties off in seconds though. But talking good, talking, giving hyping her up and probably laid it down, and she thinking in her mind, and she comes to these conclusions that, okay, like yeah, he gonna be paying for this shit. You feel me? So I don't know, man. Like I said, if I smash though, and let's be honest also. Like, come on, like, we grown. What we going into Walmart to get? Don't tell me you going into Walmart to go get a couple of things and then your whole fucking car is full as a motherfucker though. Like, that don't make sense, man. That don't make sense. Like, WTF, man. Check this old video
These
out.
groceries are wet. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. Put it back. I have to feed my 1 year old, and you telling me so you can date me, but you can't pay for this stuff. That's what you telling me? Is that what you telling me? See, that's how these guys do, baby. They take you out on dates and don't want to pay for your stuff, and then he know I got a 1 year old baby. You don't even want to buy my baby clothes. That's how guys do nowadays. They just date you. $472. Okay, are you gonna be paying today? How are you paying? Yeah, yeah, this how it is. Guys be wearing the hottest shoes. Thank you. $200 and $300 worth of shoes and don't even want to pay for the stuff I had to pay for, yeah, because I've been dating this guy for about maybe 2 to 3 days. And baby, this how they do. But I just went ahead. I'm probably gonna break up with him though, baby, because I ain't got time. Look at him. He can spend $200 to $300 on some Nikes, but he want to help me pay for my baby stuff. So you know what? I don't have time. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut him off. As soon as we get out here, I ain't gonna cut no show in Walmart. Matter of fact, you don't even have to push the basket. I can push the basket. I don't need you to
WTF,
push.
man. WTF all the way. Now, like I said, when it came to the kid, man, me personally, because I told my guy Brian B, shout out to my guy Brian B. It seems though now, since I got a son and I'm a dad, it seems though certain things when it comes to kids, I get a little emotional. I don't know, that maybe that's just me getting up there in life or whatnot, but I would have just said, what, your kid, what he need, what he don't have. Let's work something out. Let's do this though. We're not gonna let the kid go hungry or whatever the case may be. We're not gonna do that. But at the same time though, I see. I think I'm a good person. We gonna get you something. But come on, $400 though. You should have discussed it though. I don't think this just a thing you just pop on somebody and you go to the grocery store and you got this whole car filled up and you just expecting this to pay it though, right? WTF, man. WTF all the way, all the way. Okay, you guys, man, he in DC, man, not too far, literally across the bridge is Virginia. Maryland is up the street. But last night, man, I heard like a boom, but I didn't know what it was. I really didn't know what it was. I was just thinking, okay, maybe it was just something outside. Kids playing, they always play outside. You hear some noises, but it was like a little boom. But it wasn't until this morning that I realized sort of what was it, man. In Arlington, Arlington, Virginia, I believe, a house exploded, man.
Stunning video out of Arlington, Virginia tonight. A home in the Ballston area leveled in an explosion. The blast happened as police were trying to execute a search warrant at a home where the suspect was shooting a flare gun.
So as we've learned so far, a lot of the information we've gathered is preliminary. As officers are trying to execute a search warrant, we're told that a suspect shot several rounds inside his home. And we know, again, this was a flare gun that was apparently used. An explosion had occurred. A man we spoke with a little earlier tonight, he says he lives about a half-mile away. That explosion, he says, was so loud and so powerful that he heard it and he felt it from his home. Here's part of our conversation.
I can't imagine when you look at that video that the guy that was inside wasn't killed. And what concerns me, was there anybody, somebody said it was a duplex. Was it a duplex? If it was, did they get the people out of there?
Wow, man. That's wild. Prayers to, the people, who, lost their life in a tragic situation like that, man. You just can't find the right words to, say. Sort of hate to end it like that on a sad note, but you guys, man, WTF all the way. That's the WTF moment, man. Just wow, really wow. But you guys, man, awesome show, great show. Appreciate everyone tuning in to another episode of the 1130 podcast. You guys, for real, I appreciate the support the long way. The merch, man, for real. Go to my Instagram, at the 1130 podcast _ the link is in the bio. Get you some merch, man. Support the 1130 podcast the long way, for real. But before I head on and out of here and go, man, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on social media, on Instagram, like I just said, at the 1130 podcast _ like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe, man, if you haven't done so already, here on YouTube. You dig? Thank you guys so much, and follow me on TikTok at the 1130 podcast, you guys, man. Also, big reminder, in a couple of weeks, I think 2 weeks we got, you guys, I'm gonna go on the holiday break for about 3 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks, about a month or so, and I will be right back at the end of January, and we're gonna pick up the rest of the season, you guys. So sort of a mid-season break, and we're gonna pick it back up. And I got some amazing guests that's, I'm looking forward to having on the 1130 podcast. But before then, like I said, in a couple of weeks, you guys, in the coming weeks, we're going to be celebrating the 4-year anniversary of the 1130 podcast, man. So I appreciate everyone. Man, 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4 years of the 1130 podcast, man. For real, it's growing up on me. Growing up, it's like a child in a way, man. You got to nurture it. You gotta do a lot of things to it, man, just to continue to grow, be consistent, and a lot. So I appreciate everyone for the support. Number one, definitely for the support, liking it, commenting, definitely for everyone who's sharing the 1130 podcast, and everyone, man, who just say, yo, man, I just saw you on YouTube, man, and I did the show, I did the content. Thank you guys, the wrestling content as well, man. So been an awesome show, but until next time, you guys, I'm about to head on out of here. Stay safe, stay beautiful, man. Yeah, stay safe, stay beautiful. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out, man.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. He the one, nigga. So let's get it, baby. He the one with me. So Breeze, baby. Let's get it. You with me. Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre on Wheels, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some options.